What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Pick Plug back in with another video, and today we'll be hopping into Sunday's picks for today. Now, today is the last and final game of, or last and final day of the NBA games, and it is actually great to see that we have made it this far. We have been having a very successful season, and this regular season is just coming to an end, and the playoff season is going to be even easier to predict, and we'll even have a better chance of winning those picks. So if you guys again are interested in those picks, make sure to go ahead and check out our VIP Discord. In there we do have very high profitable plays. Our last our last video, we did end up going 2-3 and we did win that play. Unfortunately, we did lose the D'Angelo Russell points plus assists play, and he had a terrible game, one of his worst games in a very long time. I believe he had like 4 points going up against a Grizzlies team, and that was a close game. So that was just that was just an overall terrible game for him. But we are definitely looking to cash out on today's slips, especially since you guys did hit the like goal in the last video, getting 350 likes in the last video when the like goal was 250. So thank you guys so much for hitting that like button. And again, if you guys want another 5-pick parlay, let's get this video to 275 likes, and I will get you guys another 5-pick parlay. But without further ado, let's hop into today's picks. I'm into our first play for today. We'll be going over to the points plus assists tab, and we'll be scrolling all the way down to LeBron James, 34.5 points plus assists, and this one is going to be for more. Now, looking here, this is a solid matchup because again, they are fighting to stay in the play-in or have a better spot in the play-in. All the teams in the West are actually they're in crunch time right now, and they're playing very well. They're really trying to have a better spot in the playoffs, and he is averaging 37.6 in his last 5 games. He's hit this line in the last 3 because those games were very crucial, and he has been trying his utmost, especially against this game against Memphis. Their team, basically they had like 13 players missing, and he ended up still going on the over for this line and having a very solid game. Now, again, looking here on Outlier, if you guys do want this optimizer tool, you guys can go ahead and check it out in the link in the description below. You guys can have a free 7-day trial and try out this optimizer tool and win some money for yourself. Now, looking here, we can see that he's hit this line in 6 out of the last 10 times, and head to head, he's hit this line in 3 out of the last 3 times that he's played the Pelicans. Again, this is going to be a pretty tough time. All 3 of these games were in overtime games. As you guys can see, they did play against these teams, and all 3 of these times there were overtime. So we can see that this is definitely going to be a tough game. Again, looking here, he's going up against a team that is 5th in points allowed versus the small forward position and 18th in assists allowed, but that is still not really accurate because we're looking at a team that is going to be these games are going to definitely be a tougher game for both of these teams, and will most likely be a closer game because again, this is going into the playoff and they're fighting for a better spot. So I do believe a lot of games or a lot of props for today, it is going to be good to go on the over for, again, because this is basically crunch time. Let me know if you guys are liking this prop, but if you guys are feeling a little bit uncomfortable with it, you guys can go ahead and check out Chalkboard, and you guys can lower this prop for yourself. Let's say you can lower it down to 33.5. You can also do that with a bunch of different other props. It is a very useful tool if you guys are looking to basically win guaranteed props. And if you guys think this is a little bit too low and you think he's going to go way over it, you can bump it up to maybe 35.5 and get a higher payout boost. So I suggest that you guys do go ahead and click the link in the description below and use code TROPHY while you're signing up for Chalkboard. For our next prop, we'll be going over to the points plus rebounds tab, and we'll be scrolling down all the way to Anthony Davis, 37.5 points plus rebounds, and this one is going to be for more. Now, again, like I said, these are going to be a lot tougher games, and I do expect him to have way more minutes than normal, especially going up against the Pelicans. They did go on the overtime 3 times the last time that they did play. He's coming off a 50 points plus rebounds a game against Memphis. And looking here, we can see that he's done this again in the previous 5 games against Washington, having 53 points plus rebounds that game. Now, looking here on Outlier, we can see that he's hit this line in 7 out of his last 10 games, and in his last 20, he's hit this line in 9 out of the last 20 games. So we can see a clear difference between these games not being so much of a crunch time and a lot of these games were definitely very valuable games where they had to like lock in on these games. So looking here in the last head-to-head games, he's only hit this line in 3 out of 7 times, which is just a little bit under 50%. But again, like I said, these are going to be very tough games for both of these teams. He's going up against a team that is 17th in rebounds allowed and 6th in points allowed. So they give up a solid amount of rebounds versus the power forward position and 6th in points allowed. We know that Anthony Davis is going to get some buckets, so we're expecting at least 20 plus points for today's game. So I definitely do see him go on the over for this prop. If you guys do think that this prop is a little bit too high, you guys can go ahead and check out Sleeper, and you guys can lower this prop. They do have a very valuable prop for today. On Sleeper right now, they do have Kyrie Irving 0.5 points for free on your first deposit. So if you guys use code Trophy, go ahead and check out that Kyrie Irving 0.5 prop. It is definitely very free, and you guys can tell this prop as well, the Anthony Davis over on points, or you can lower it, and you guys can cash out on that. On top of that, if you use my code Trophy, you will be able to get up to 500 on your first deposit match, which is definitely a very valuable thing to do. So if you guys do want to go ahead and check that out, check it out for yourself. For our third prop, we'll be going over to the points plus, just the points tab, and we'll be scrolling down all the way over to Anthony Edwards right here, 24.5 points, and this one is going to be for more. Now looking here, we can see that he's going to be going, he's averaging 26.6 in his last 5 games, and he did have an awkward game against Atlanta, having 14 points. But again, this is a very crucial game because, as you guys know, most of you guys may know that there are 3 spots that are tied and first, and Minnesota really needs this win to have a better spot in the play-in, because if they do lose, they might, and the other 2 teams win, they'll be going down to the 3rd spot. So they definitely need this line. Anthony Edwards definitely needs this line to go on the over, and the Minnesota Timberwolves definitely need to win this game. And for that to happen, Anthony Edwards needs to play his best. Now, looking here in his last head-to-head games, going up against Phoenix, he's only hit this line 2 out of the last 6 times. Now, this previous game, which is pretty recent, this did go into overtime, and he only had 17 points. Now, again, like I said, this is a very crucial game for both of these teams. They both need this win. The Suns need this win to have a better spot in the play-in, and Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves need to have a better game than them to be able to have a better spot in the playoffs, the top 3. So looking here, I definitely do see him going on the over for this line. He's hit this line in 11 out of his last 20 games and 5 out of his last 10 games. But again, this is crunch time, and I definitely do see him having around 33 minutes, more than his average, actually, maybe like 35 minutes this game, and having a very competitive game with both of these teams. Now, if you guys are actually wondering how you guys can get even better value out of this prop, and you guys can win even more money from this than you would on Prizepicks, you guys can go ahead and check out FanDuel. They do have this prop for an even bigger payout boost on FanDuel, and they have a promotion right now where if you bet $5, you can get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed, which is absolutely insane. You guys can bet $5, and then in your next prop, you can put $150 down for free and win that one, which is insane. So you guys can go ahead and click my link in the description below and go ahead and check out FanDuel for yourself. For our next prop, we'll be going over to the points plus assists tab, and we'll be scrolling down all the way to RJ Barrett, 25.5 points plus assists, and this one is going to be for more. Now, he's hit this line in 5 straight games, averaging 31.2 in his last 5. Against Miami, he did end up having 38 points plus assists, and he's going up against them again tonight, and I definitely do see him going on the over for this prop. He has been on an amazing streak. He's hit this line 2 out of 2 times going up against them. In the last 10 games, he's hit this line at 9 out of 10. Now, again, I do think this is a very valuable prop, but on Prizepicks, you can only do too much because their payout boost isn't as much compared to maybe FanDuel or BetMGM, which you guys can go ahead and check out in the link in the description below. You guys can check out their promotions down there. Now, this, again, you guys can tell both of these 2 props that I just mentioned and use them on one of those 2 sports books, and you guys can go ahead and get a way better payout boost than you would on Prizepicks. Now, I definitely do think this is a very solid prop to go on either of these sports books, but I do believe that if you guys want your money to multiply even more, I would use one of those 2 sports books down in the description below. For our last prop, we'll be going over to the rebounds plus assists category, and we'll be scrolling down all the way to Karl Anthony Towns, 9 rebounds plus assists, and this one is going to be for more. Now, I do like this prop because it is an 8.5, and if you guys use this with the other plays in today's video, and he does tie with the 9 points plus rebounds or rebounds plus assists, he will still your other plays will still be valid, and you could get a 4 out of 4. Now, looking here, he is averaging 11.8 in his last 5 games, and his last 10, he's hit this line in 7 out of 10 times, hitting this 100% times going up against Phoenix. And again, this is a clutch time game for them, and he definitely needs this prop to go on the over because this is a very, very crucial game for them to have a better spot in the playoffs. Now, against the center position, they are giving up number one in defending the rebounds versus the center position and 14th in assists allowed. Now, I definitely do think this might be a tougher game, but again, this is clutch time, and I definitely do see him go on the over. Now, this is actually 9. But it's around the same thing. He did tie this line in the last game that they did play, but he's hit this line in 75% of the last times that they did play. Now, if you guys are telling any of these props in today's video, let me know down in the comment section below, as well as if you guys do want the full 6-pick parlay. There are going to be many slips going on in the Discord today because this is a very, very big day. This is the last game of the NBA season, and this is there's so many games. I believe every team is playing tonight, so I definitely do see there being a lot of slips. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to go ahead and join the VIP Discord. There will be a bunch of slips that you guys can tell, and they are very high profitable slips. So you guys can click that link in the description below. So thank you guys for watching. Let's get this video to 275 likes for another 5-pick parlay, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.